Alright, this is a video to help with finding a coefficient of variation. Let's go through and identify what we have here. So this is number 28 from section 3.2. We start off, it says the average score for a student. So in this case, capital X with the little bar over top, that will represent, in this case here, that's a sample. Okay, that would be a sample mean. Or if we use mu, that would be the population mean. Alright, another thing we need to identify is that we have our standard deviation. So if we use S, that would be equal to our sample standard deviation. And if we used the Greek symbol there, I believe that's alpha, that would be the population standard deviation. Alright, so let's take a look at what we have here. We have two classes that are being compared. We have a calculus class, which has a 110 high score, or class average, excuse me, and we have a statistics class, which has a 106 average. The calculus class has a standard deviation of 5, and the statistics class has a standard deviation of 4. And what our question is which one has more variability? Which one has a wider range of values? Alright, so the first thing I think about here is we kind of talk about is the average score of a student in one calculus class. One calculus class. So I'm pretty sure this sounds like a sample to me, not a population. But either way, when we find the coefficient of variation, we're going to have the same formula here. So our coefficient of variation is going to be equal to our standard deviation. So in this case here, this is for our calculus class. This is for the calc class. That will be 5 divided by the mean for the class, which is 110, and then we'll take that and multiply it by 100 so that we can convert it to a percent. The coefficient of variation of the stats class is equal to 4 divided by 106 times 100 to be able to convert that decimal to a percent. So we can kind of compare the percents. Alright, I'm going to hit pause real quickly and grab my calculator to find those values. Alright, I'm back. So when we calculate for the calculus course, we find out that when we multiply that, we get 4.545%. And for the coefficient of variation for the statistics class, when we calculate that, we find out that we get 3.774%. So when we look at this now, we can clearly say that because we have a larger percent here, that the calculus class is more variable. So in that case here, the calculus class is more variable, or has more variability, excuse me. Alright, and that's a video for number 28 off of section 3.2 suggested homework, email submission homework. Number 30s worked exactly the same way, so if you have any questions, please let me know.